Senator Inhofe, it has been a while since you and I have talked, and I've missed you, and I thought you didn't love me anymore.
Well, no, look, it was just last May. That wasn't too far back.
Well, yeah, it's been a long time because Senator Langford gives me some love like every, few weeks or so. And I'm like, where's Senator Inhofe? I never hear from him.
I'm here. I've got a telephone. All you have to do is call.
I did. Finally did. But after Daisy went to the EPA, we kind of lost our way.
I see. Well, we'll correct that real quick, Todd. We have a lot of things happening right now. In fact, I just got off the Hugh Hewitt show talking about an amendment that I think you guys would be interested in this whole this tax thing that we're in the middle of right now.
Please. I'd love to hear about it.
Well, look, Todd. It's going to happen right now. We are going very likely by the end of this week. This is Tuesday. By Friday, we could have the deal done, and I think it should be done. We've already passed the House. We passed the Senate, and this would be. And it was we handled all the demagoguing out there about the class warfare, and this is going to be this against poor people and all of that. And we've gotten beyond that. I can remember, and I'm not old enough to have been in the Senate at that time, but I can remember during the Reagan administration and how important this is. And I'd like to just hear me through this thing one time. In the Reagan administration, this is fresh in my memory because I've given 100 speeches on this thing. The total amount of revenue in 1981 was $469 billion, and he reduced the rates. The first reduction across the board, where the highest rate was from 70% down to 50%. Then in 86, it went from 50% to 28%. And in both cases, it dramatically increased revenue. $281 billion as a result of the first reduction, and $431 billion the second. The problem was, and this sounds partisan to say, but all during that time, all that additional revenue that came in as a result of reducing taxes was spent, plus a lot more because we had a very liberal Democrat Senate and House. And so when you stop and think about the fact we've already increased the economy in the second and third quarters to 3%, and for each and all during the 8 years of Obama, it was averaged about 1.5%. And for each increase of 1%, that increases revenue of $3 trillion. Now, I'm sorry to have to, it's kind of in the weeds, but you have to talk about that because that's exactly what we're on the verge of doing here in Washington now.
Wow. And then you've got Pelosi and a lot of Democrats saying that we're going to kill people because of these tax cuts.
Oh, yeah, but that's not working anymore. And I sat there and had to listen to Chuck Schumer talking about the poor people and they're going to be paying for all this.
I couldn't sit through Chuck Schumer. I give you a lot of kudos for that.
Well, and you got to keep in mind also during the 8 years of Obama, I sat next to Barbara Boxer for 4 hours a week for 8 years, and anyway, they are. We're in a different situation right now. And I'm very excited about it. People realize now that finally that we are in the most threatened position militarily that we've been in the history of America. And if anyone questions that, let me talk to them about it. Or we can have a session where we can talk just about the defense problems that we have right now in America. The fact that we have someone who's mentally deranged who now has proved by a week ago today that he has the capability of coming into America with a missile. The only question was how heavy of a load will it carry, but we now know they can do it. This is not something that is out there in the future that we've been talking about for 30 years. The future has come. It's here. The threat is there. It's no longer just the conventional warfare. It's the fact that some country without any other resources is able to develop a weapon that can reach the United States of America. So we've got huge problems that we have to deal with. Now, the one today is a huge problem because it's the first time since 1986 that we have done something rational in terms of our tax overhaul.
Oh yeah, for sure, and everybody benefits. If the people say the fat cats are going to benefit, but the middle class will benefit anyway, and lower middle class and people that make under a certain amount of money, they don't pay taxes anyway.
That is true. And Todd, I just noticed here in my notes that Last time I talked to you, I was in Ukraine and was talking
Yes.
from there. I'd forgotten about that. I went over twice. We have our Oklahoma 45th over there, and they have a very unique mission that not many people understand. They think that they're over there to train the Ukrainians to fight. They're not over there to do. They're over there to train their trainers to train them. It's just a joy to watch them work. The great work that they're doing. And this month they're going to be coming back now after a whole year over there, and they're doing a great work. One of the real distresses I was over with the president of Ukraine, Poroshenko, back when he was when they had the parliamentary elections. It was the first time in 96 years that they didn't elect one communist to their parliament. And they did that because they love the West and they love us. And this is back during the Obama administration. And what happened right after that, of course, they went in and started killing the Ukrainians. And they wouldn't allow, our president at that time, wouldn't allow us to send defensive weapons over. Well, we are doing that now. And so we got to be, we're kind of reestablishing ourselves as the leader of the free world now. That's one of the good things I'm excited about.
Me too. But, Senator, I got to ask you, as a guy that's just sitting here on the bench watching, what's taking so long to do something about Kim Jong-un? I mean, he's been sitting over here thumbing his nose at us and sticking his middle fingers in the air at us for so long. At what point do we act?
Well, the big fear that is out there is that he has the equipment. See, I have known, and even though they have not stated that's taking place now, but that he's had this capability that he's developed. He's way ahead of when our intelligence says he has the capability. One of the problems is we have 27,000 people there in South Vietnam that are our people. We want to be very careful not to. He can range them very easy. He's been able to for a long time. What we need to do, and we are acting, we're putting up defensive weapons right now. We're the THAAD system. That's a ground-based system. We have two of them up there right now to knock down something coming in. So we have taken the precaution of being able to knock down something that would be coming in close. But now that we know he can range the United States of America, it's one of these things where this president has done. Quite frankly, I think what he had to do, and it's not very fun to talk about, but he said, if you threaten and you are successful in deploying something that could hit us, we could wipe you out. Essentially, that's what he's saying. Now, you got to keep in mind that when Obama went into office, we had 44 ground-based interceptors. They were all located in the western part of the United States, from Alaska down through Southern California, because that's where we thought the threat was. Then we found out that during the last Bush administration, that it is now we're going to have something to defend the East Coast. And so we made a deal with the Czech Republic and with Poland to put in ground-based interceptors there along with the radar. And I can remember having a personal conversation with Václav Klaus, who is one of our real heroes. He was the president of the Czech Republic. He said, now, if we incur the wrath of Russia by having a ground-based interceptor in Poland and Czech, he said, how do we know you won't pull the rug out from under us? And I said, we would not do that. Well, I didn't know. But the first thing that Obama did when he was elected was pull the rug out from under him. And so that was something that put us in a real threatened position. So now we're, as quickly as we can, we're trying to get systems in place that will be able to knock down anything that's coming in, at the same time deploy something that would not necessarily wipe out North Korea, but it would be something that would get all of the vital areas so that they would not have the resources available to do more than they can do. I don't know at this point what more that we can do than be prepared to knock down something that's coming in and send something back at the same time. And that's what we're doing.
One more question, Senator Inhofe. A lot of people, Democrats, are salivating at the thought of General Flynn, and he's got the smoking gun, and Donald Trump is going to be impeached, and this is what we need on Donald Trump. But yet, I don't see Donald Trump's fingerprints anywhere. Please tell me, where do you think things stand? And do you believe the president's fingerprints are anywhere in any of this?
No, I don't. But let's keep in mind, Todd, There are people out there that they don't dislike Trump. They hate Trump. And it's a level of hatred that I've never seen in politics. And yet, I'm not sure but what he isn't just the perfect person to come at this time because of what it's happened in this country. They'll try to find anything they can and then they like to use the I word. They would like to think that there's something out there, and then there's a rallying call, and you have Rachel Maddow and all the crazy people on the left talking about how they're gonna impeach this guy, when in fact, yes, his numbers are down, but the numbers have been down in the early years of previous administrations. He is actually getting things done. Right now, look what he's done to the economy. I mean, we're up now. We have 2 quarters that exceed 3% growth, and it was 1.5% growth for 8 years of the Obama administration.
We were told we wouldn't reach 3.
Well, yeah, of course, we're already past 3, and we remembered how, as we talked about, every time that we have done this, have gone through, and this started way back in the Kennedy administration, we'd freed up the economy, revenues increased, taxes are lowered, and that's what we're going into right now, and it's happening this week. Everyone ought to be rejoicing right now.
Senator, I am rejoicing, and I'm excited about the tax cuts. I'm excited about the tax break. I'm excited about the fact that we've got a president that doesn't apologize for America all over the world. I'm grateful. I will tell you, though, I pray for you every day because you're surrounded by a bunch of buffoons.
Yeah, you are right.
And that includes some people in our own party, Senator. So I really I pray for you and Senator Langford every day. Senator Cruz, some of my favorites, because we've got some people in there that frankly don't share our ideals, or they've got such a bad taste in their mouth for the president that they'll do everything they can to see him fail. And those are people in our own party as well.
Yep, some of them are out there, but we've got to win this thing. I've got 20 kids and grandkids that are depending on us to get this done.
Amen. Senator, I know you've got a lot to do today. By the way, I don't know if you know this or not because we haven't spoken, but we've got the new Todd Tucker Nobody Club, and I have to ask you, Senator James Inhofe, are you a proud member of the Todd Tucker Nobody Club?
Well, since I don't know anything about it, but sign me up.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Senator, God bless you. We don't talk before. Merry Christmas, but we get this tax bill and everything done. I'd love to hear from you about it.
That's a great Merry Christmas. I will assure you we're going to be doing that as soon as this happens.
And isn't it great to be able to say Merry Christmas in America again?
It is. Merry Christmas to all of our listeners out there.
That's right. Thank you, Senator Jim Inhofe. Appreciate your time, my friend.
You bet. Thank you, Todd.